Hello, comrades! Welcome back to Workers and Resources, Soviet Republic. In the last episode, the first episode, we detailed a couple of bits and bobs that were going down, some of the newest features in the patch, and you know, over the course of this series, I am intending to show you a bunch of the new stuff in the patch. Anyway, we got Potatograd up and running. I say Potatograd, the Potatograd Industrial Estate, which I suspect is going to be absolutely gargantuan by the time that we're finished here, but that's okay. We also started, you know, roughly the beginnings of the Potatograd town center, which is very, very cool. Now, something which I want to get right from the very start of this series is steel production. So that's indeed what we're going to try and work on today. And I've got a couple of ideas about how we handle that. First things first, we are sort of in the middle bottom left quadrant of the map, I guess, you know, so we're not particularly close to a border. Also, if we have a little look at coal reserves and iron reserves, you can see that you know, there are a significant amount of coal reserves on this you know, easterly island, but you know, there's also a significant amount of coal up on the north of the west island. Same goes for iron as well. There's not a whole heck of a lot over here, but there is a lot there's a lot over in this mountainous area. So I've taken the liberty, that's right, I've taken the liberty of setting up what I believe to be a brand new town, and this is going to be Coalgradsky. That's right, this is going to be an absolutely wonderful town. But the problem is with setting a town up in this mountainous area, it's going to get really, really difficult, really fast. So I thought that we could actually use the buildings that have been introduced for their intended purposes, i.e., we try and use the the cable car to actually get workers and resources to coal mines, perhaps on mountainsides. Does that make sense? And you know, by doing that, obviously it would allow us to make the town in this you know, this reasonably flat area, because we are going to need a town. We need a colossal number of workers in order to extract coal and iron. So let me have a little look. So where's iron, where's coal? We probably want to put these guys fairly close next to each other. Little tiny bit of iron over there, little tiny bit of iron. I mean, there's a lot of iron here, but it's pretty much on the mountain, basically, isn't it? Which makes everything a little bit more challenging, but also very, very highly enjoyable. Okay, a little bit. To be honest, that's not too bad right in there, and that's not super difficult to access. Same with here as well, actually. Yeah, I actually think that maybe something like this would not be the craziest place to stick this. We've got to be honest, right? We've got to be honest with ourselves. We're not gonna be able to get that much iron out of the ground here, regardless of how many, you know, people, resources we just chuck at it, because there simply isn't that much iron around here. Yeah, most of it's red, but as far as I'm concerned, it's something that we have to do, and therefore we should do it. Right, let's start the motions of setting up a town. Now, this is going to be one of the places where we actually end up, I think, putting in a train station. We're going to end up putting a train station in. The point that I'm trying to make is that we obviously want all of this coal and iron to be processed somewhere, and I'm not entirely sure that I want it to be processed in Coalgradsky. I think we might want to ship it back over to Potatograd in the vain hope that we'll have more employees over there, and we'll just be able to process everything a little bit faster. So what I'm kind of hinting at with that, you know, garbled nonsense sentence is that maybe we'll put the steel mill in Potatograd, and then all of the resources we will just ship to Potatograd via train. That's kind of where my mind is at the moment. But as ever, if you've got any suggestions on how I should be playing better, let me know in the comments down below. Always happy to take comments from you guys, and you know, it helps make the series better if we can get feedback on how things are going and how things can potentially improve. All right. So we need to find somewhere here. Here I think is pretty much what we're after. We don't really want a coal ore processing plant. Not not really up on the mountain, I would suggest. It doesn't take that many workers in order to run the coal processing plant or the iron ore processing plant, either or, to be honest. It doesn't require any workers at all. But it's something to think, it's something to consider, that's for sure. I mean, what inputs does the cableway accept? The large cableway station accepts only a factory input, which is a bit of bother, and presumably you only accept factory input as well. Oh, we could do aggregate loading. This is what we're after. This is absolutely what we're after. Yes. So we want a big aggregate loading. Yeah, so as long as we can find a place for this, we will be totally sorted. All right, this is gonna make mining in the mountains just a heck of a lot easier. All right, Brent, let's untick that and let's immediately start with an iron mine. Where did I think was best? I think that's probably best. That's the most green that I can see anyway. So just on this little area over here. So irritatingly, this is of course rock, which is, I mean, deeply irritating, really, in a sense. But we're gonna do what we're gonna do, nonetheless, to try and make this a little bit flatter. We only need to make it marginally flatter, and that should allow us to place down the thingamabobber. It doesn't look like it's actually doing something, but you know, rest assured, it's definitely like watching paint dry. That's for sure. Okay, how about that? Does that seem to work any better? It's a coal mine. Hold on, what's the coal situation here? Coal situation's actually really good here, but we can always put the coal mine right over there. In fact, I tell you what, if we were able to put the same buildings fairly nearby, that'd be pretty great. Okay, let me do something like this. Sure. I'll put it in that orientation. There we go. Bada bim, bada boom. No issues there whatsoever. Fantastic. Let's get that all straightened up. And let's place down that iron mine. Let's not commit to building it yet because, I mean, the complexity only increases from this point out. So, we need to get a cableway big loading. And then we need to see if we can find a spot for it. It needs to be pretty much here. We're only going to have to flatten the line just a little bit, I think, in order to make this work. The real question is will the conveyor belt work well enough? There we go. Flatten it a little bit and let the specialist machinery do what it needs to do. Right, so will the conveyors work here? The conveyor will indeed work. Okay, so that's a pretty darn good start. Let's build that just because I want to see roughly how this works. I don't think I've actually ever built an aggregate loading cableway thing, so that's fine. Station's not working, cabin's in the station, so we don't have any sort of direct control over here, but that's actually completely fine. So we'll do that, and then cableway heavy we're gonna need to get. We're probably gonna need multiple routes up the mountain, to be honest. And this is gonna be, I mean, made all the more difficult by the fact that the terrain is too steep of an incline. I mean, you're managing over here. How are you managing over here? I guess because it's slightly higher. Well, I can increase the height of this. In fact, you know, it's probably just as easy if I flatten this out. There we go. I mean, that's not too bad, right? Wonderful. Okay. Not as much of a decrease as I was wanting to see, but I guess that's okay. That's pretty good. Yep. Brilliant. And how far can we go? That far. And again. I mean, I think we're too far away, aren't we? Yeah, we need to be careful that we don't run too far. Angle of connections too sharp, too low. Yeah, let me turn on the wireframe. Problem is that I can barely see what the heck is happening here. We're close to getting down into an area that I'm much more comfortable operating in. Yeah, but this is still presenting a real problem. Alright, well, we'll stick that in there. Okay, and we'll try and alter the angle just a smidgen here. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna build over there. And we're almost out of the woods. Literally and also figuratively. There we go. Stretch this as far as we possibly can. Wonderful. Alright, this is gonna be far and away the longest cableway that I've built thus far. Which I think is kind of cool. I like it a lot. Right, we'll take it down to about there. Sure. And then at this point, we're going to need a cableway aggregate unloading big. In fact, yeah, we're going to need an aggregate unloading big. Brilliant. Get that down there. And then let's pop into large aggregate storage. And we'll instead stick that in there. And we'll make sure that that links up with a conveyor. No reason why it wouldn't. And this will give us the opportunity to put a train aggregate loading in somewhere over in this vicinity. Probably, likely, over here, I would imagine. To be honest, I think that we're probably going to try and set up 2 aggregate loading stops. Because this is going to be, obviously, the one for iron. And then we're also going to need one for coal as well in just a second. Now, so that's the setup right over here. I'm pretty happy with that. Let's get that all built, shall we? Let's not get that built quite yet, because there's a few other bits and bobs that I want to do first. I want to sort of blitz this and just get it all done in one big fell swoop. So, let's see if we can follow it up with a coal mine. And might I say that I am delighted that there is going to be a coal mine so nearby. That bodes well. That bodes well because, of course, something that I've not super highlighted is that we're going to need to get passengers all the way up here because we're going to need, we're going to need some workers. We're going to need employees. That's what we need. That's the nature of, that's the nature of work itself. You know, you need somebody to actually be doing it. And I think if we're able to fit just a small cableway station sort of like up here, then that will allow all of the transportation of workers that we need. In fact, maybe not a small thing. We need a lot of workers. If I'm going to be doing this, we're going to need a heck of a lot of workers. And by a heck of a lot of workers, I mean a heck of a lot of workers. I didn't actually consider, but there's going to be demand for 500 workers between these 2 mines here. So maybe just having a small cableway to supply the labor is not good enough. Maybe we're going to need to increase our ambition and set up a large cableway station, kind of like how we've got over at the sawmill area. If you watch towards the end of the last episode, you'll be able to see it's a total nightmare. I mean, it's just a disaster. It's just a total disaster. It's going to need a heck of a lot of work, but you know, that's for later. This is for now. Right, still, this isn't a large enough platform. Right. Let me see if I can get the specialist machinery out here. These are, of course, the bulldozers, which work slightly more effectively. I think. Not the bulldozers, the excavators. The bulldozers work slightly less effectively than the excavators. How does that work out? Oh, we're so flippin' close. We're so flippin' close. Just one tiny little bit more. There we go. Raise the roof. Raise the earth. You get the picture. Alright, looking good. Let's see if that works. It works, or it will work. Wonderful. Alright, perfect. Let's get that coal mine down. I mean, this is quite an operation here. This is quite an operation. I like it a lot. What am I looking for? I'm looking for the cableway. I'm looking for the cableway aggregate loading big. That's right. Oh, that's going to work. That's going to work perfectly, he says, very, very hopefully. Very, very hopefully. Unless there is any way. Unless there is any way in which I can use engine conveyor thingies in order to get the thingy out here. I sense an opportunity here. Let's demolish that cable thingamabobber. Yeah, cancel the construction of that. That's bad. We don't need that anymore. I think there is an opportunity here. I think there is definitely an opportunity here. Right, so if I move the cableway aggregate loading big down to like here. Yeah. Move it down to about there. I mean, this will require a little bit of reorganization. However, I'm an optimist. I mean, will that just straight up connect? It says that there's a building in the way. I mean, that's a complete lie. And as soon as this building properly despawns, then we should be able to test this theory out. Oh my goodness. Is that gonna hill causing obstruction? It's close. It wants to work, though. It absolutely wants to work. Right, ditch that. Try again. This one, yeah. Oh my goodness, what an opportunity we have here, eh? What an opportunity. Okay. And let's give that a shot. That works. That actually works. Wow. Okay, I am shocked. I am absolutely shocked, but I'm absolutely delighted. Ditch that, and then all we need to really do is link up that there, and then we need to find a happy medium for this pillar. And if we can't find a happy medium for that pillar, we can always ditch this pillar and have another crack. Too low? I think we can find a way around here. That, followed by that. Brilliant. Okay, so we've slightly rerouted the cable car, but it still ends up working out tremendously well. Now, what we can do, if we're unloading everything from a singular station, we can set up a secondary... large aggregate storage, and we can set that up over... I mean, it would be ideal if we could get it over here, although I suspect that we're not going to be able to. Alright, you know what? Just stick it down over here for now. This can all be rearranged in time. I'm not particularly bothered about it. Let's see if this works. Will you work first time? Angle of connection is too sharp. I tell you what, that must be just on the edge of what constitutes too sharp and not too sharp. There we go. As suspected, works perfectly. Okay, so that is going to be 2 aggregate storages. We're going to need to make sure that we lock what we want to get locked in there, i.e., you know, we want coal to be coming to 1, and then the other one we want iron. We want iron ore, coal ore and iron ore, of course, ready for processing. This is only part of the fun, but I mean, I feel very, very confident, like straight away, that this is actually going to end up working out quite well. Okay. Good. I just want to make sure that we've set up the construction of all of these pylons. It may well become necessary to move some of them. I say that just because when I'm constructing the other route, we are of course going to have another pylon route up here. I say pylon; they're not pylons, are they? But you get the idea. Right. And that's all set up. Brilliant. Okay, let's build you. And build you. Yep, that's not an insubstantial amount of money that we're going to see exiting the bank account right now, but, I mean, it'll be worth it. It'll be worth it. Okay, so, small cableway station. Is that going to be possible? Is it going to be possible for us to build a big one? I mean, I'm an optimist, but, I mean, a small station is so much more doable. So much more doable. In fact, it's almost literally doable from here. Yeah. Let's see if we can raise this up a little bit. I think we just keep it with a small station. If it needs to be modified in the future to become a big station, then we can do that. But for now, I'm just going to try and, like, load as many load as many carts onto the line as possible, and hope that that's enough to sustain the 500,000 workers that we need up in this area. A little bit of an exaggeration there, not by much, however. Right, so one or two things that I want to test before we actually go through with the construction of this cable station is, are we going to be able to set up footpaths? I highly suspect that we will be able to. Look at that. That actually works just wonderfully. That is absolutely fantastic. Okay, I mean, I couldn't be happier. Speaking of happy, we might have an issue. We might have an issue with this. And by this, I mean the cable car pylons. Right. I mean, this will take a little bit of smooth maneuvering, I think, in order to make this work. Specifically because the path will come under the root of the thingamabobber, the root of the cable. What's the issue here? Too steep of an incline? I did kind of figure that that might be the case. We have built a very, very high station over there, cableway station. But I mean, it should work. It should work. I mean, it's close to working. That's still probably too steep of an incline. I mean, I don't know why this is saying too steep of an incline, because I feel like it totally shouldn't, right? I mean, come on. It's a cable car. I mean, how you know, how relaxed do you expect the incline to actually be? What can I say? I just gotta play by the rules. Play by the rules of the game. Is that still too steep of an incline? Really? I mean, I could put in a heavy thing, but that still is too steep of an incline. Oh, goodness gracious me. I mean, there's nothing I can do here. There's nothing I can do apart from continually trying to increase the height of this bit of land here. Alternatively, what I can do is delete that path, which I didn't want to do, but turns out might be necessary. Still too steep of an incline. Right. I fail to see how this can be too steep of an incline. Is it even possible? How? Do I need to go further? I mean, if I go further, will you become more happy with me? Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I'm banking on. If we go further away, the incline will become less. This does seem like something really ridiculous. This is the way to do it, I think. We just hold... We hold down the mouse button as we slowly but surely move our way down the mountain. Oh. That's right. That's right. It's there. We got it. We got it. Brilliant. Okay. Now, is a path going to fit underneath here? A path looks like it will fit underneath here. Brilliant. Okay, let's get that locked in before we lose the ability to do that. Now, this is going to be tough, because if that incline was too steep, that was the incline, by the way, we are going to need something incredible over here. I'll tell you what, going over to this point, which we used for the old route of the other thingamabobber. The other thingamabobber, of course, is, by other thingamabobber, I mean cableway. Too steep of an incline? How did we lose it? Right. Let's get that in there. Yeah, something like this. What about something like this? Oh my good, it actually works. It will actually work. Holy cow. I simply don't believe it. Alright, this is fantastic. This is absolutely brilliant. If that's what it's got to be, then that's what it's got to be. Yeah, it might get a little bit more challenging from here, but, oh, man, this is brilliant. This is brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. Okay, let's see. Green. I saw green. I see green over here. It's just too steep of an incline, but not by much. Okay, get that flattened out. Okay, wow. Wow, what a setup we're going to have over here. This is wonderful. And what a demonstration of all of this cable car tech, eh? Brilliant. Okay. Now comes the more challenging part. Too low? I mean, there are two ways to fix this. One of which is lowering the land, which I kinda can do. And by kinda can do, I mean I absolutely can do, and it costs me diddly squat. By that, I mean it costs me nothing. The other is repositioning the pole, and, you know, that's... Cannot combine light and heavy... Oh, yeah, whoops. My bad. Okay, there we go. Brilliant. So we've lowered the land, we've changed the... We've changed the map, quite literally, in a great way. Can't build there. Can't build there. Fantastic. How far can I go? Not that far. And it's also complicated by the fact I can barely see what the heck I'm doing because of these irritating trees. But that's fine. Right. So, bring this down here. I think we did it. I think we are out of the woods. I cannot believe... I just want to highlight to absolutely everyone. I cannot believe that the video game allowed me... what am I looking for? Some other infrastructure's in the way. Don't worry about that. It's just a road. Right. This is where we'll build the city, in this sort of block. I cannot believe that I was allowed to build this. Yeah, this cableway thing. Wowzers. That is incredible. That is absolutely bananas. I love it. 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 Okay, let's finish off this cableway down here. We're going to need a small cable station, which should probably go right about there. Fantastic. We're going to set up some gravel roads. Sure. I hate that, but it is what it is. And then we will set up some... Yeah, something like that. That's not looking too bad. Something like that. I did say at multiple points that I wanted to try and make sure that every building was connected to the road network in order for us to be able to respond with a appropriate amount of fire engines in the case of an emergency. However, that can sort of take a little bit of a backseat for now. Okay, that's a little bit of a grid. Sort of shows you the grid that I want to utilize to build this city. I would like to reinforce to you, this is not going to be a particularly big and or important city. Although, I mean, I say that and then immediately regret it because it is going to be a pretty important city. But it's going to be thrown together. That's what I really meant to say. It's going to be thrown together, and maybe, just maybe, it'll be one of those cities that actually works. I mean, to be honest, I feel like I'm actually designing quite a nice city here. I mean, that's a nice sort of central block of infrastructure. I say central block of infrastructure. I, of course, mean amenities. Amenities. You get the picture. So a central block of amenities, and then demolish that nonsense. And we can rebuild that if and when required. And then we'll go about getting a kindergarten right over here. Fantastic. And that was with precious rubles that I wasted that over there. So let's turn that off. And let's see if indeed it's possible to, yep, build a school right over yonder. Fantastic. Should have had a look at the wireframe, but it doesn't particularly matter. What do you know? What do you know? That is absolutely everything that I think we require, right? I mean, I guess there's like a fuel station. I guess we kind of need a fuel station. What am I looking for? Yeah, gas station. Yeah, I guess we need a gas station. Probably not the most environmentally conscious thing to do. Try and place it between, between the kindergarten and the school. So instead, I'll just place it next to the school. How about that? Sure. At least everyone's lungs in the school will have had time to develop before they get infected with, horrific diesel and petrol fumes. Right, okay, that's a bunch of central infrastructure. I'm pretty happy with that. Let's have a little look at all of the stuff that needs to get built. I can manually build a few other bits and bobs. I tell you what, I've only thus far spent about 300,000 rubles, which, honestly, kind of surprising. Honestly, kind of surprising in order to transform an entirely rural area into a high-activity mining zone and town. Don't forget the town. Don't forget we are literally going to be building a town. And so far that's only cost, you know, it's only cost a very, very modest amount, which I, of course, am delighted about. Right, so get all that built. Building lacks the power supply. Yeah, I do need to consider that, but that can be considered later because it doesn't really need to be considered right now. I just want to make sure that absolutely everything is up and running first. There we go. Tell you what, in other good news, because of the fact that we've got prefab panels already made, probably not for this town, but for any subsequent towns, I highly suspect that we will indeed be able to just manufacture everything ourselves. And that's what we're going to try and do. We want to get to a model, obviously, where we're able to, you know, where we're able to say, hey, the roads, go build the roads, go build the houses, go build everything. And we just want to sit back, relax, take it easy, and, you know, most crucially, not spend any rubles in the process of constructing a town. So there we go. Just a word of note. Man, I am delighted with how this ended up working out. Fantastic. Hopefully it all links up. Yes, it all links up just perfectly. Brilliant. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. So that is 2 immense cableways. That is the beginnings of a town. Now, what we need to do, twofold. Firstly, we need to, in the first instance, go and drag a power cable from somewhere. Is it easier? I mean, Coalgrad is up here. Yeah, Coalgradsky is up here. Is there any... What the heck is this? Is there any electricity sources nearby? He says very optimistically, knowing full well that there aren't, but one can dream. There is literally one. Yeah, there is literally one. Oh, cool. Oh, cool. You've got a wood cutting post right over there. That's really interesting. Okay, that's a you know, a town that I haven't touched. Very, very interesting. Yeah, I think that there is literally one area of electricity on this entire map. Petersburg, nothing in Petersburg. Yeah, that road goes nowhere. I straight up think... Oh, no, there is one over here. Vitrob Station. And there's another import area. And there's also another customs house over here. That's a NATO customs house. And there is a little bit of a town over here, but that's about it. Yeah, so basically the answer to my question to myself, is there an electricity point where I can import electricity from reasonably nearby? The answer to that is, of course, no. So, what do we need to do in this instance? Well, we need to go back to Potatograd. We need to go back to Potatograd, and we need to see if we can split this this high energy, high voltage cable into another line. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. Brilliant. And do that. Auto build, because I mean, this is not going to be a particularly challenging route. There we go. Wonderful. Kind of want to come up the back of Potatograd because I suspect that will see more activity in the future. Excuse me. There we go. Right. And we're going all the way up here. This is literally going to cost me over 100,000 rubles. Right, build that section because the game is literally lagging with how much, how many cables are required. Right, we'll plop down a power transformer over here. Second power transformer. Tell you what, my power transformer to population ratio is pretty high at this moment in time. But that's okay. Then we'll take some of this juicy high voltage. I say high voltage, high wattage. It's the highest wattage cable that we have available to us right now. We'll take that up to the mountain. Pipe that down there. And connect that up there. Bada bim, bada boom, what do you know? Suddenly everything seems to be working. And we will also do... Oh my goodness. I mean, I tell you what, this town is actually... This is almost like a blueprint for how I want future towns to look. Because all of the houses that I build over here, probably all the houses that I build over here, definitely all the houses that I build over here, all of them that I build over here, all of them that I build over here, all of them over here, and all of them over here, hopefully, theoretically, should all be able to access all of the services, I think. Also, if they're not able to, then I'll set up a trolleybus service. A trolleybus is another bit of tech that I've not played with. It's not new in the latest patch, that is, but it is, you know, it's within the last couple of patches that trolleybuses were introduced. So very much looking forward to finding out how that works. Okay, sure, and something like that. All right, brilliant. That's gonna, you know, it's gonna wipe out a fair amount of money, but there is no other way around that, unfortunately. It has to be done. It has to be done. But thankfully, we can get away with one singular substation in this area, so that should work just fine. Cableway engine is turned off. Yeah, I know. Bit of a bummer, but hey-ho. All right. Yeah, we're still building pylons. Brilliant. Okay, so that seems to work just fine. We got power? No, we ain't got power. We ain't got power. Now, if I can't figure out why we don't have power, I can figure out why we don't have power. Nowhere has power right now. I thought I built this by turning auto spend rubles on, but apparently not. We got power now? We do indeed have power now. Wonderful, 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 wonderful. So, yep, we got power in the iron mine, which means that we'll have power in the town. We're missing staff, because of course we are, because there's no one here yet, but people will indeed be coming here. Now, did I get... I got Kindergarten V2, Conveyor Rails 3. So this is a couple of mod bits and bobs that I ended up getting. So this is just a crossing point, really, for conveyor rails, which is pretty darn cool. Road and rails reversed. It's a crossing point for roads. That's pretty darned interesting. Lots and lots of roadside conveyor stuff. I also got a massive, massive, massive train station, which isn't that useful, and I also got a larger than regular kindergarten. I know there's a bunch of stuff on the workshop, and you know, I might add to the selection of mods that I have installed at the moment. I just installed a couple of things that I thought would help me, you know, make the best out of the video game and whatnot. Now, what am I looking for? Looking for the biggest, the best, the one and only 189 capacity house. I mean, the fact that I'm not able to build here is a travesty, frankly. Oh, come on. What? I'm spending rubles on that? That's a joke. There we go. Right, will that work any better? That will indeed work better. Brilliant. Get that auto built. I don't want to be going around manually dealing with building all of these houses. That's a no from me. But we will in time. There we go. One more. One more. Fantastic. Okay, so I think all of those houses should be able to access all of the services. And then we're going to follow it up with a road through the middle here. Sure. And a road down the back there. Yeah, sure. That seems to work. An absolute dream. And we're going to see if we can get some more buildings over here. He says optimistically. Well, we're definitely going to be able to get one over here, because this is all the same level. It's just whether we can fit another one. Another one in there? Guess not. Ah, that's fine. Okay, I know it looks like I'm building a lot of buildings, but roll with me on this one, folks. We're gonna need it. We're really gonna need it. Right, let's get all of these built, and this is gonna completely wipe out my finances because we're gonna be importing a heck of a lot of labor here. So, watch the finances as soon as the building work's finished. So it's gonna go from about 7,600,000 down to about 7,100,000. So basically about 500,000 rubles worth of labor there. So there you go. Right, so everything seems to be working in working order. Cable engine is turned off. Nothing can be reached by foot, of course, because nothing's connected at the moment, at the present time. Let's go get that linked up, and more importantly, very much more importantly, we're going to get a path linked up there. Is that not possible to link up? I mean, if I ditch that. There we go. That works a lot better. That down there. And that over there. Brilliant. That should be everything within walking distance as far as I'm concerned. Apart from... Oh, no. Even the house down at the very end. I just didn't see that there were 3 there. Okay. Phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Are you able to reach... You're not able to reach the kindergarten and or the school, which is kind of very irritating. Kind of very irritating indeed. Let me see if I can do something like this. Yeah. That's just one of those weird things where you've got the most irritating cable in the most irritating place. There we go, and connect that up. Yeah, so I really want to make sure that, you know, we've got a nice civic center. There we go. Brilliant. A nice civic center. That seems to be it. As long as I can restore power to the good people of Coalgradsky. I say Coalgradsky. Is this the town of Coalgradsky? I guess it kind of is. Sure. I guess it's the town of Coalgradsky. Anyway, yes, restored the power to the good people of Coalgradsky. Is that everyone able to access kindergarten now? Unfortunately not. I guess you and the U are not able to access the kindergarten. You're also not able to access the pub or the shopping center. That can actually be remedied, I think. That can be remedied if I connect this up right there. Brilliant. Yeah, how about that now? You should be able to reach the shopping center. No? Oh, I know what's up. We don't have any way to walk between these buildings. Yeah, we straight up do not have any way to walk between these buildings. I mean, that, in hindsight, is a little bit of a mistake there. Yeah, it's a big old mistake. Right, ditch that. Yeah. So if I do that, then that might theoretically just allow people to move slightly further distances. Doesn't really look like it. Doesn't really look like it, unfortunately. Right, well, you know what? No matter for now. We'll get some proper intracity. We'll get some proper intracity transport set up later on. But, I mean, this is, I think, is still a good blueprint for how we want to handle things going forward. Even though it's not perfect, what we might end up doing is sticking, like, another pub, another shopping center down in this area. Just to allow these dudes to get to where they need to go. Anyway, for now, let's see if we can get things set up. So let's buy as many cabins as we possibly can. Maximum of 73 cabins. Now that seems like an obscene number. However, it might end up being a number that we aim for. So I mean, these cabins cost practically nothing. Let's get 40 to start with, and then let's immediately start things up. We'll load absolutely everyone up. Brilliant. We're also going to need... You're without a power supply. That's a darned irritation, I must say, because I thought that I'd covered everywhere with the power supply, but that's fine. We're just going to need a small one over here. Yep. Brilliant. And plug that in over there. Fantastic. Right, so cableway engine is off. Cabins in the station. Do I need something else here? Do I need another oh, do I need another cableway thing? In order to put cabins onto the line here? I have absolutely no idea how I'm going to do this. Huh, okay. I mean, how on earth do I get cabins onto the line for the aggregate loading? Oh, I never really anticipated this. Oh, it's just normal. All right, you know what? Just ignore me. Just ignore me. Right, heavy aggregate car. Let's get as many heavy aggregate cars as we possibly can. We cannot set. Yeah, the thing that's we can't. Now we can set. Now we can set to wait until loaded at the other end, and then I'm going to say wait until unloaded at that end. That might need to change in the future, but that's fine. And we'll need to click wait until loaded, and we will be collecting both of the juicy resources that we need. All right, get to work. Get to work, everyone. The army of people should be dispatched from the small cableway station. Am I convinced that a small cableway station is enough to deal with the demand? Or the demand for workers? I really am not. However, I guess we'll see. You know, I think I want to max this out. Right, let's max it out to 73. 73 out of 73 cabins on the track. There's still 66 cabins in the station, so we're going to be, reducing that number of workers very, very swiftly. Looks like we've got a good number of people in the shopping center, which is quite good. All right number of people in the kindergarten. All right number of people in the school. All right. I think we do want to try and get ourselves a brand new school and a brand new kindergarten over here. We'll do it, sure. There's pretty good. And similarly, the school can go sort of backing onto that area there. Brilliant. Let's make sure that it's all linked up appropriately. Fantastic. So that should be everything for everyone. Maybe with the slight exception of whatnot, of food over here. And everyone should be able to access the cable car station, which is the most important metric, which I've already checked. Yes, brilliant. And look at that. There are only 40 workers now waiting to get to work. So that is a great success story. You know what? Cabins probably still haven't arrived at the other end quite yet. No, we're still waiting. We're still waiting, but we're ready. We're ready to go. We are indeed ready to go. 2 cabins in the station waiting to be loaded up with all of the good resources that they need to get, which is wonderful. Oh, this is great. This is just great. This is just absolutely great. I'm very happy with it. Very, very happy with it. And now the fun starts. 21, the quality of the source, by the way. So we are going to get a very, very, very minor amount of resources out of here, but that's okay. That's completely fine. Right, weight of the system. That number will presumably change with the amount of stuff that we have in it, in the specific wagon. However, I'm not entirely convinced if that will make any difference to the way in which the system operates. Also, is there double wires here? No, it looks a bit funky. All right, well, I mean, it seems to work. We do have rather a lot of coal coming in. Rather a lot of coal coming in. And are any cabins leaving? Or do we need to wait for them to fill up with iron? Right, don't wait until loaded. Let's just sort of shift that around a little bit. Yeah, you've got 4.7 tons of iron ore. Do we prioritize inputs from the left? This is a massive problem already, by the way. That's coal. Yeah, I mean this system isn't able to deal with the capacity. Right, let's bump up the number of wagons on this track. I guess part of this becomes, you know, what trade-offs are we willing to make? I mean, we are extracting quite a lot of coal from here. Right, what I think I'll do, I'll add buildings about where my citizens are going to go, where my workers are going to go. We're going to artificially reduce the number of people that we need to work in the coal mine. I say artificially reduce. I'm going to just, you know, take down the number of workers that we require to work here. Yeah, there we go. Let's leave it at 90, whereas, you know, let's leave the vast majority of people. In fact, I can just ditch this. There we go. Yeah, the vast majority of people should be working in the iron mine, because I suspect that the iron mine, it's going to be more difficult to get resources out of the iron mine. I mean, it seems to be working. Hold up. Hold up, hold up. Coal ore, brilliant. Iron ore, brilliant. Is this all set up to work properly? I think we're going to see our first... Yeah, we're going to see our first wagon arrive. And when we do, it should all transfer over there just like so. Wonderful. No cabins in the station here. Brilliant. I mean... There are 33 cabins in the station. But it doesn't really seem to be operating as fast as I would like it to be. It seems like, yep, we've got full storage at the coal mine, full storage at the iron mine, and that's a bit of a problem. That's a bit of a problem. I was kind of hoping that we'd be able to get a little bit more coal out of here. At least if it filled up faster, that would be kind of nice. But at the rate that it's going, it doesn't really look like it fills up particularly fast. I mean, don't get me wrong, we've still got sort of an accessibility bonus. It's much easier to do this with cableways rather than trucks. But I would just like to use more. I wonder if there's any way to fit an aggregate, even a small aggregate storage in the middle here. A small aggregate storage for each coal and iron ore. That would be quite nice. But we are literally wasting production here, which does not sit very well with me. Yeah, well, you know what? We're going to leave it like this for now, but I'm unhappy about it. I'm unhappy about it. Unhappy about it. However, on the whole, I am very happy with how this whole setup is looking. It's actually looking pretty darn swanky, if I do indeed say so myself. Right, so that's going to be that. What I want to do right now is set up. It's a train aggregate loading. That's exactly what I need. Train aggregate loading. We're going to get one set up right over yonder. Yep. We're going to leave it on auto build for now, but I'm going to just make sure that all of the conveyors will actually work properly. As suspected, not going to work without a little assistance. There we go. And then we're also going to need another train aggregate loading, and I'm just going to set it up over here. Brilliant. And that can go there just like that. Sure, I mean, it looks a bit janky, but it should work. We might need to move this construction office, and by might, I mean we will absolutely need to move this construction office. Oh, can't demolish the buildings until everything's sold. We just... There we go. Sell the vehicle. I know that we don't get as much back as what we paid for it, but look, we gotta do what we gotta do. All right, so ditch that. And then I'm going to set up a rough railway. I think I want to build a concrete railway just for the entirety of the journey. I mean, This is going to be a pretty central line to build, so it would be good to just have it like up and running. The other good thing about building this railway is that it's going to be pretty easy to build. It's not going to be super hilly on the way to Potatograd, so we can count our blessings for that. That's pretty nice. Right, should we pause and have a little look? I don't even know why I'm bothering with the wireframe, to be honest. I don't really suspect that we'll need it. Right. And we're just going to continue to... Too steep of a descent? Really? I mean, I must say that I find that rather hard to believe. There we go. Suspect that was just a little glitch there. And we're just going to keep it coming. The one thing that I would like to point out is that this is a ridiculously long stretch of track that we are going to be building here. You know, really, it's quite incredible. I'm just wondering, is it perhaps easier to go straight through the mountain here? I mean, if we enter over here and like come out at this point, would that work? We're above ground at some point, are we? I mean, ever so slightly. What if I was to enter over here? I mean, that actually doesn't work too badly. I tell you what, that's a much more direct route than what I was originally hoping to do. So you know what, let's double that up. Let's absolutely double that up. And we're able to, by weird tree removal, see exactly where the track goes. Okay, so that's brilliant. It's 120 kilometers an hour as opposed to the 150 kilometers an hour of the whatchamacallit, of the concrete track. But I mean, look, it's a price worth paying, I think. Right, take it right up to about there. Perfect. It did cost me, you know, a ridiculous amount of money, but also it will be worth it. And it's all in aid of getting steel, you know, so steel is going to be a massive money spinner for me. Just you wait. Just you wait. Excuse me, that didn't want to work. But this will work here. Right. Question mark that. That's fine. Right, I can already feel like the state is going to have difficulties paying the incredible amount of money that I just spent on that tunnel. How much money did I spend on it? I guess we'll wait and see, right? Oh, it's going to take a long time. Oh, it's going to take a long time. Thousands and thousands of bricks? I tell you what, cancel finish the contract by myself. Cancel finish the contract by myself. Let's not discount that. I mean, bricks are pretty easy to build, actually. Bricks are pretty easy to build. And you know what I will do in the meantime? I will build a temporary, like, wooden track route around here. There we go. And let's go back to pausing. And then ditch that. Let's get onto the other side here. Right, so I'm a realist, but I'm also ambitious. I'm ambitious because I want to build big old tunnels. So this is a very temporary setup. There we go. Come on, video game. We were so close. We were so close to doing great stuff there. And we will do great stuff again, no doubt. Oh. You are really irritating. Oh, come on. There we go. That's gotta work. It's gotta work. It's electrified track. I don't want electrified track. Right, just concrete, thanks. Right. That's looking good. Also looking good. Nice. See this? This is ambition. This is ambition. This is working. This is going to work really, really nicely. Right, perfect. And then we take a little branch off here. And just go back for the root. Brilliant. I cannot believe that this is actually going to work. I'm shocked. So we're building this with cheap track because we, you know, fully expecting to replace this at some point. Don't quite know how long it's going to take me to manufacture 25,000 bricks or whatever the heck it is that I actually require. If I'm not mistaken, oh, it's only 5,000 bricks. Only 5,000. Only 5,000 bricks. That's easy. If I go into brick construction, I can have a little look at the. Where is it? Is it? I think it's construction, isn't it? So bricks are. Bricks are. Where would it be? Storage and warehouses? No. Food and crops. Oh, come on. The way that this game categorizes buildings. Various industries, clothing, plastics. Am I just like missing it? Just over and over again? Where's a flipping brick factory? It's not food now. What is going on here? It's definitely not oil bitumen. It's definitely not in here. Engineering? Railway production line. That's another thing that they've added, actually. Energy related. Am I going bonkers? Where's the bricks? Where's the flippin' bricks? I've made bricks before. I swear. I promise you. I've made bricks before. Have I just missed it like 6 times in a row? I feel like that. I must have missed it. I must have missed it. Unless they've like removed the ability to build bricks. Plastics, no. Asphalt, no. I simply don't understand. Clothing factory, fabric factory, no. Coal, gravel, iron. It's here. I've got it. All right. I had a little bit of an incident there. It's literally just coal, which is exactly why we're going to be moving all of the coal into this area. Oh goodness gracious me! I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. Okay. Oh boy. All right. That was. Goodness gracious me. That was quite something. Right. Well, we need to find an aggregate unloading thingamabobber. That's right. In fact, we probably need to find 2 aggregate unloading thingamabobbers. And then I want to check with a brick factory, which I do know where to find now. Here we go. Brick factory. A brick factory can have coal imported into it directly, and then it can output the bricks. So that might be the best thing that we could possibly do. We've already got a little bit of gravel storage over there. Although that's also coal storage. So, I mean, if we were to link the aggregate unloading, train aggregate unloading. Yeah, if I was to link this up over here, I don't necessarily think that this would be the worst idea in the world. Yeah, let's go through the motions of this, shall we? Yep. Brilliant. All right. Unbelievably irritating, but definitely fixable. That goes there. Perfect. We can, of course, get you know, some proper modded roadside conveyors, if indeed we want to. But I don't really feel like we need to do that at this moment in time. But you never know; that might become more necessary as required. So this aggregate unloading might as well be for coal and gravel drop-off. We might need to add extra capacity for gravel later on, so I'll reserve this area for gravel specifically. But that's definitely going to be the coal point. Right, so that means that we're going to need another... We're going to need another sort of processing area for this brick factory to go. Now, what if I just put the brick factory over here? It's not really within range of the cable car station, which could potentially be a little bit of a problem. What about over here? Kind of looks a little bit ridiculous, but it might just work out. No, okay, maybe it won't work out. Maybe it won't work out. Maybe that dream is just not realistic. The problem is that this industrial walkway is unbelievably difficult to maneuver around. Okay, we'll work in that orientation. Okay. Yeah, I think something like that, honestly. If we're able to find something like that, and then we'll crack in a conveyor here. And that doesn't want to work, but that's totally fine. Because we'll do something like this. Link that up. And then link that up. Wonderful. Then we'll get a footpath over here. And that will be our coal, right? Let me just check that this... Hold on, that's a gravel supply. Okay, that's the wrong resource. I don't need that. I need the resource coming from over here, which maybe will be slightly more problematic to do. Yeah, okay. I might have misplaced this. I say might have misplaced this. It was an optimistic placement. Alright, ditch that. Pause that. I don't suspect that the mod has got any wonderful solutions to this, does it? It does have like a crossing point, which I might utilize. A road crossing. I mean, I could utilize a road crossing. That would be something. That would be something which I might be able to utilize here. Man, I do enjoy this, though. This is a very, very nice mod. I like it a lot. However, I don't think it'll solve any of my problems. My problems are purely related to the fact that I ain't got the space to do this. I ain't got the space to do this at all. Which, bit of a bummer to be frank. Bit of a bummer to be frank. But thankfully, I'm not Frank. I'm over the potato. So it should be fine. Right, I do think that I can work this out, though. Yes. Yes, very good. Even if we require another thingamabobber there. Hill causing obstruction. How? There we go, fantastic. Alright, that works. That absolutely works. Ditch that, if it's not already been ditched. And let's see it all be built. How wonderful. Okay, brilliant. So that should be a brick factory that is totally within walking distance of absolutely everything that matters. This doesn't really need to be connected to this sort of central factory like organization area, but it would be good if it was. However, given the sort of way that it's hemmed in by the road, I don't think that I want to set that up right now. So what I'll do is I'll actually just immediately destroy the road that I was saying it was hemmed in by, but again, kind of okay. There's a bus stop over there, which is still needs to be accessible. Connect that up. Yeah, you guys are confused. I get it. I see what the issue is. Yeah, that should be fixed, though. 15 workers. Brilliant. Alright. Have we got enough people being shipped in via cable car? I think we do. I think we do. Brilliant. Very happy with that. Okay, and then let's get a storage area. We're just gonna stick in a You know, we'll just stick in a medium storage area, to be frank. That's all we really need. It's all we really need. In fact, if we line it up with... Yeah, in fact, if we line it up with what could be a potential train line, then that would work for absolutely everyone, wouldn't it? Yeah. Let's do that. Too long? Alright. Historically, that would be a problem. Not anymore. Not even close anymore. Brilliant. We'll get another forklift area. Again, forklift areas are great because they can move. We can sort of change it around as we go. Garage needs some forklifts. What am I looking for? I'm looking for this button. Detect where we're going. And let's just get to it. Let's just get to it. We don't want to load in the open storage, and we don't want to unload in the brick factory. We just want to make bricks. We just want to make bricks, and we want to start working on moving those bricks over to where they need to go. Just like that. Just like that. We're gonna be up and running in no time. Right, let's do something real important. Let's get this all connected up. Let's ditch this horrific road, which I have no doubt will need to be replaced at some point in the future when I decide that trucks are better than they actually are. But for now, all we need to make sure that we do is connect up all of this, and what do you know, we'll have an aggregate unloading area. Brilliant. Well, I'm tremendously happy with that. That's really, really good. I mean, we maybe could get some crossover over here. See if that works. It should be fine, I suspect. And then what we will do is we will set up at some point in the next episode. We will set up our rail construction depot thingamabobber, and that will allow us to start work on the massive tunnels, which will shave, I mean, a tremendous amount off the journey. A tremendous amount off the journey. I'm gonna plop down a train depot over here. Brilliant. Get that connected up. Let's get some signals. Perfect. Yeah, no idea if this will end up working, but we can only but try. We can only but try and modify the plan as things go on. Brilliant. Fantastic. Right, so let me quickly just buy a train. It's going to be a real cheap one. It's going to be a real cheap one. Diesel locomotive, the cheapest of the diesel locomotives. And then let's go and get a couple of hopper cars, I think. Also, you know what I've just realized? We need to have an intermediate step over here where we need to process the coal, which is fine, I think, because I think we should have more than enough space. Right, but I'm going to need to work on that because I've completely forgotten. I always forget to do that. I always forget that we need a coal processing area, but it doesn't particularly matter. It'll all wash out. I'm not particularly worried at all. Ladies and gents, thank you very much for watching. My name, of course, has been Potato. This has been Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. I do hope indeed you'll tune into the next episode. Thanks as ever to my fantastic Patreon supporters, and I'll see you next time. Bye.